2. The manipulative people are skilled at making others feel responsible for their emotions, actions, and decisions. They often disguise themselves as caring individuals, positioning themselves as someone who only wants the best for you. But in reality, they are using these relationships to get what they want, often at your expense. Manipulation can be emotional, psychological, or even financial, but it always seeks to control and exploit others in subtle ways. As we grow older, we may find ourselves in situations where family members, old friends, or even acquaintances try to manipulate us, often under the guise of concern. They may tell you that you need their advice, or that they only want what's best for you, but behind these statements lies an attempt to influence your decisions for their own benefit. Manipulation, in any form, is toxic and can undermine your autonomy, your well-being, and your sense of self. The manipulator might use guilt as a tool to control you. They may make you feel responsible for their happiness, constantly reminding you how much they've sacrificed for you over the years, how much they've done for you in the past, or how you owe them. They might say things like, "After all I've done for you, you should be doing this for me." Or, "If you truly cared about me, you'd listen to what I have to say." These guilt trips can make you feel trapped, as though your worth as a person is tied to meeting their demands or expectations. Over time, manipulative people will wear you down with this subtle pressure. They make you doubt yourself and second-guess your decisions, creating a cycle where you constantly feel like you have to prove yourself or live up to their standards. In the process, you might find yourself sacrificing your own desires, values, and well-being just to keep the peace or avoid their manipulation. The worst part is, the manipulator may never acknowledge their behavior. They'll keep making you feel like you're the one who's wrong or selfish for not doing what they want. Another common tactic of the manipulator is to play on your emotions in ways that leave you feeling confused, guilty, or ashamed. They know exactly what buttons to push. They might use subtle remarks to make you feel like you're not doing enough, or they might undermine your confidence by making you question your abilities or decisions. These emotional ploys are meant to make you feel like you're in the wrong, even when you're not. It's important to recognize that manipulation isn't always obvious. The manipulator will rarely come out and say, "I want you to do this because it benefits me," but they will employ tactics that create emotional pressure, making you feel like you're obligated to act a certain way. This is why manipulation can be so dangerous. It's insidious and often disguised as care or concern. In old age, we must recognize that our time, energy, and emotional well-being are far too valuable to be spent trying to meet the needs of someone who manipulates us for their own benefit. Setting boundaries with a manipulator can be challenging, especially if they are family or close friends, but it is absolutely necessary. You don't owe anyone your peace or your autonomy. If someone is making you feel guilty or forcing you into decisions that don't align with your values or desires, it's time to step back and reevaluate the relationship. Setting boundaries doesn't mean cutting ties completely, although in some cases that might be the healthiest option. It means learning to say no when something doesn't feel right and being firm in your decisions. If the manipulator truly cares about you, they will respect your choices and stop using guilt or pressure to control you. As you age, it's important to surround yourself with people who genuinely support you, respect your autonomy, and lift you up rather than dragging you down. Life is too short to spend it catering to the whims of someone who seeks to manipulate you for their own gain. Protect your emotional space and remember that true love and care are about mutual respect, not emotional control. By identifying manipulators early and setting firm boundaries, you can maintain the autonomy and peace you deserve in your later years. You've lived a long life and learned many lessons along the way. Don't let someone manipulate you into thinking you have to compromise your integrity, your happiness, or your sense of self. Your life is yours to live, and no one has the right to control it. As we grow older, our time becomes more precious than ever. But here's the hard truth. Not everyone deserves a place in your life. Sometimes, even those closest to you, yes, even family, can drain your energy, steal your peace, and make the golden years anything but golden. Today, let me share with you the 5 types of people you must avoid in old age. Some of these might surprise you, but trust me, it's the key to living a happier, healthier life. The energy vampire. As we age, it becomes more important than ever to be mindful of where we invest our energy. We no longer have the same reserves of vitality that we once did, so it's critical to ensure that the people around us aren't draining what little we have left. One of the most damaging types of people to your well-being in old age is the energy vampire. An energy vampire is someone who constantly pulls from your emotional, mental, and sometimes even physical reserves, leaving you feeling drained and exhausted. These individuals are often negative, self-centered, and may not even realize the toll they are taking on those around them. Their presence in your life can be subtle at first, but over time it becomes more obvious that each interaction with them leaves you feeling worn out, frustrated, or even emotionally overwhelmed. These people are masters of complaint and can turn every conversation into a discussion about their problems. No matter how much you try to lift their spirits or offer a word of encouragement, the energy vampire will continue to focus on the negative aspects of life, often making it all about them. If you've ever found yourself in a conversation where you are giving advice, offering support, and doing your best to be empathetic, only to feel like the other person takes, and takes, with no reciprocation, you've experienced the drain of an energy vampire. As we get older, the need to preserve our energy becomes more critical. It's not just about physical health, it's about mental and emotional well-being. Chronic stress, anxiety, and emotional exhaustion can take a serious toll on your body, and being constantly in the presence of someone who demands all your energy can exacerbate these issues. The stress caused by an energy vampire can lead to physical symptoms such as headaches, poor sleep, muscle tension, and an overall feeling of being unwell. It's not just a feeling of tiredness. It's a deeper, more pervasive sense of depletion. The worst part is that energy vampires don't just suck up your emotional energy, they can also affect your outlook on life. If you spend too much time with someone who is always focused on what's going wrong in their life, it can start to color your perspective as well. You might begin to see the world through their negative lens, losing your own optimism and enthusiasm for life. This can be especially harmful in old age, when maintaining a positive outlook is crucial to aging well and staying mentally sharp. Recognizing the signs of an energy vampire is the first step toward protecting yourself. They often make you feel like you're carrying the weight of their problems, and no matter how much you give, it's never enough. They may even guilt-trip you into doing more for them, using tactics like, "I'm the only one you can count on," or "I don't know what I would do without you." But the reality is that they are relying on you to fill a void they are not willing to address themselves. So, what can you do? The most important thing is to set boundaries. This doesn't mean cutting these people out of your life completely, though in some cases that might be necessary, but it does mean being firm in how much emotional labor you are willing to provide. You are not obligated to be their therapist or emotional crutch. Learn to recognize when an interaction is draining you and politely disengage when it becomes too much. It may be difficult, especially if the energy vampire is a close friend or even family member, but your well-being should always come first. In old age, you've earned the right to protect your peace and your energy. Surround yourself with people who uplift you, who share in your joys and triumphs, and who, just as importantly, are willing to give as much as they take. Remember, your time and energy are precious. Don't let someone take it from you without offering anything in return. Life is too short to spend it feeling drained and emotionally exhausted. 3. The complainer. We all have our moments of frustration, But there are some people who seem to never stop complaining. They are always finding something to criticize or moan about, regardless of how small or insignificant the issue may be. In old age, it's crucial to minimize negative influences in your life, and the chronic complainer is one type of person you absolutely must avoid. Chronic complainers have a habit of focusing on what's wrong with the world, with people, or even with themselves. They seem incapable of finding something positive to say, and their negative outlook can seep into every conversation. It's not just the occasional gripe, it's a continuous stream of dissatisfaction. Everything becomes a problem. The weather, the news, the people they interact with, and even the smallest inconveniences become major sources of stress for them. They have a constant need to vent their frustrations, often with little regard for the emotional impact on others. As we age, we come to realize the importance of managing our energy. We don't have the time or the emotional reserves to entertain endless negativity. Constant exposure to complaining can be incredibly draining, especially when the complainer refuses to take any action to improve their situation. They may make excuses for why things can't be better, but they don't show any effort in making positive changes. This passive approach to life, where they let their complaints fester without resolution, can become toxic over time. The worst part of dealing with a chronic complainer is the way it can affect your own mindset. When you're around someone who is always negative, it's easy to start adopting their perspective, even without realizing it. You may find yourself focusing more on what's going wrong in your life, or begin to see the world through a lens of pessimism and frustration. This is dangerous, especially as we age, because a negative outlook can have serious effects on our mental health and overall well-being. Studies have shown that negative thinking can increase stress, lower your immune system, and even contribute to conditions like depression and anxiety. In your later years, protecting your mental health should be a top priority, and this includes being mindful of who you spend time with. Dealing with a chronic complainer can also lead to feelings of helplessness. They often expect you to listen to their grievances and provide sympathy, but no matter how much support you offer, it's never enough. They may even criticize you for not doing enough to help them or for not agreeing with their negative view. Their complaints can feel like a weight you have to bear, one that isn't yours to carry. Over time, the complainer may try to draw you into their web of negativity, and before you know it, you may start feeling guilty for not being more involved in their problems. But here's the thing. It's not your responsibility to fix every issue they have or carry the emotional burden they create. The complainer will rarely take any steps to improve their own situation, and in many cases, they're perfectly comfortable staying stuck in their cycle of negativity. This can be frustrating, particularly if they're a close family member or friend. But it's important to remember that your mental and emotional health comes first. How can you deal with a chronic complainer? The best approach is to set clear boundaries and protect your own peace. When they begin to complain, try gently redirecting the conversation to something more positive or neutral. Don't get pulled into the negativity, and don't feel obligated to engage in their complaints. If the conversation becomes overwhelming, it's okay to excuse yourself or change the subject. It's also helpful to establish emotional distance, if necessary. You can still be compassionate and empathetic, but you don't have to absorb their negativity. If the complainer is someone close to you, like a family member, it might be necessary to have a more direct conversation about their behavior. Express how their constant negativity is affecting you, and encourage them to seek help or find solutions to their problems. However, don't expect miracles. Some people are so entrenched in their complaints that it becomes part of their identity. In these cases, it's best to limit the time you spend with them, focusing instead on relationships that lift you up and bring positivity into your life. Ultimately, life is too short to spend it surrounded by constant negativity. We all face challenges and we all have our struggles, but we also have the power to choose how we respond to them. Negative people, especially chronic complainers, can weigh us down and prevent us from experiencing the joy and peace that we deserve in our later years. Protect your energy, stay focused on what brings you happiness, and avoid those who refuse to see the good in life. 4. The judgmental critic. As we grow older, it's essential to surround ourselves with people who accept us for who we are, flaws and all. However, there are some people who thrive on criticism and judgment. The judgmental critic is one type of person you must avoid, even if they are family or longtime friends. These individuals are quick to find fault in others and often offer unsolicited, harsh opinions about your choices, appearance, or lifestyle. While they may claim to offer advice, their words are often hurtful and unnecessary. The judgmental critic focuses on surface-level flaws and rarely takes the time to understand your personal choices or motivations. They criticize your appearance, your habits, or how you live without ever considering the deeper reasons behind your decisions. For example, they may say, "You shouldn't be doing that at your age," or "Are you sure that's a good decision?" These comments can leave you feeling inadequate or second-guessing your choices. In old age, you've earned the right to live life on your terms, and the judgmental critic can undermine your confidence and sense of self-worth. Their constant criticisms can create self-doubt, especially when you've spent years making decisions that reflect your personal experiences. These individuals often fail to see your life as a reflection of your wisdom and growth, instead focusing on what they perceive as wrong. The impact of a judgmental critic can be especially damaging in old age. Their words can make you feel guilty for your choices, whether it's the way you dress, your hobbies, or how you spend your time. This constant judgment can erode your self-confidence and leave you feeling as if you're never enough. The key to dealing with a judgmental critic is emotional protection. Understand that their opinions are just that, opinions, not facts. They often project their own insecurities onto others. Setting boundaries is vital. If their criticism becomes too much, it's okay to address it directly. Let them know that their comments are unwelcome and not appreciated. If they continue, it may be necessary to limit your interactions with them. Spend time with people who uplift and support you. Seek relationships where your choices are respected and celebrated. In old age, your well-being is too important to allow anyone to diminish it with hurtful judgments. Embrace who you are, live life on your terms, and avoid those who seek to bring you down. Ultimately, the only opinion that matters is your own. 5. The narcissist. As we age, our time and energy become more precious, and we quickly realize the importance of being surrounded by people who truly care for us. Unfortunately, some individuals don't offer genuine love or support. They are more concerned with themselves and their own needs. The narcissist is one such person you must avoid, even if they are family or close friends. Narcissists have an inflated sense of self-importance and a constant need for admiration. They view relationships as a way to boost their own ego, rather than being a mutual exchange of care and support. They tend to dominate conversations, always making things about themselves and showing little to no interest in others' feelings or experiences. If you try to share your thoughts or concerns, the narcissist may dismiss them or turn the conversation back to themselves, leaving you feeling unheard and unimportant. One of the most damaging traits of a narcissist is their lack of empathy. They don't take the time to understand others' emotions or perspectives. This can be particularly hurtful in old age, when you may need more emotional support or connection. Instead of offering a listening ear or a comforting presence, the narcissist is often focused on their own needs and desires. They may even guilt-trip you into prioritizing their wants over your own well-being. Narcissists often exploit relationships for their personal gain. Whether it's using you to further their own agenda, manipulating situations to their advantage, or making you feel responsible for their emotional state, their behavior can be emotionally draining. The constant need to cater to their inflated, Ego can leave you feeling exhausted and unappreciated. And as you get older, you deserve to be surrounded by people who value and care for you, not those who only seek to take. Another troubling aspect of a narcissist's behavior is their tendency to gaslight. They may manipulate you into questioning your own reality or feelings, making you feel as if you're in the wrong or overreacting. This form of emotional abuse can be particularly harmful in old age when you may already be dealing with a host of other challenges, like health issues or loneliness. The narcissist may make you feel like you're the problem, further isolating you and diminishing your sense of self-worth. How do you deal with a narcissist? The most important thing is to recognize their behavior and protect your boundaries. Setting clear limits with a narcissist can be difficult, as they often try to push your boundaries or make you feel guilty for standing up for yourself. However, it's essential to be firm. If they refuse to acknowledge your needs or continue to manipulate you, it may be necessary to distance yourself from them. In some cases, you may need to sever ties entirely to preserve your mental and emotional well-being. If the narcissist is a family member, it may be even harder to navigate these boundaries, but it's crucial to put your own health and happiness first. You don't owe anyone your time or energy if they are not offering you the same respect in return. Surround yourself with people who lift you up, who offer genuine care and empathy, and who value you for who you are, not for what you can provide them. In your later years, it's important to cultivate relationships that nourish and support you. The narcissist will only drain you, leaving you feeling empty and emotionally worn out. You deserve better. Let go of those who take advantage of you and instead focus on the people who show kindness, respect, and love. Ultimately, your peace and happiness should be your top priority. Don't let the narcissist stand in the way of that. As we grow older, the relationships we nurture become more important than ever. Surrounding ourselves with positive, caring people who uplift and support us is key to aging gracefully. The individuals we should avoid, the toxic, the manipulative, the critical, only drain our energy and happiness. It's time to let go of those who don't serve our well-being and make space for those who truly care. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like and share it with someone who may need to hear these words. And if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more insightful advice on aging well and living a fulfilling life, as well as our wise ones. Newsletter, link is in the description. You deserve to be surrounded by people who lift you up. Stay wise, stay strong, and remember to always protect your peace.